In our line of work, we meet a number of writers who are interested in publishing, but most people only think of publishing as an entity and they don't think about the post-publishing. What happens next after you have a hard copy book? That is why I am joined today by Gabriel Dinda, who is the founder of Writers Guild Kenya and the team leader behind the All African Bookshop, to share tips on marketing, because the bookshop is making strides in the book market.
Well, it's a great pleasure to be part of Books and Life, to share some of the ideas that we have learned over time when it comes to marketing books. But I thought it would be important to mention at the beginning, even before we listened to the ideas that we have prepared regarding marketing, that like any other product out there, the best and possibly the first marketing strategy or marketing idea for any product is to ensure that the product is fit for purpose, or the product is of good quality. So that should be a question that every writer who is intending to market their book should think about, whether the book is fit for purpose, is of good quality, or in other words, is marketable. So the ideas are for the marketable books. I hope that is not cruel.
Very well said, Gabriel. Thank you for that. Now let's get on straight to our 7 tips or suggestions you could try for your marketing. Number 7, consider giving discounts and giveaways of your book to a sampled population so that people can have a taste of your book, just like any other product. Let people have a taste of your book. And you could do this by giving free copies to reviewers to talk about it, to write about it, or book editors as well, to keep the discussion going so that people know that there is a new product in the market, there is a new book.
Well, I agree, Vera. That makes a lot of sense, and I think we have a lot to learn from companies here. When there are new products from companies, I see sometimes they could sample. So maybe they say if you buy this, you get one free, or they could literally sample. So I see in the supermarkets there are coffee, and if there is new coffee, you taste there's some bit. So I think there is also, it is true that we should find a way to give a bit of the new product in the market, or the new book, or the new ideas in the market which you've expressed through the book. So possibly some ideas that someone could think about around this. Maybe I see a number of people also give, let's say, the first 2 chapters could read. Some also give discounts. So let's say if the book costs 1,000 shillings, then you could say maybe the launch price is 800 shillings for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So these are some ideas that people could try. But the idea is to give some financial incentive for people to buy your book, or for people to get this new product. Because in all honesty, this is a new product that is there in the market and people have no prior experience with it. So it would need some push, or it would need some incentive for someone to consider it. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's important because we are also treating books as products. Sometimes we don't think of books as products, which is what kills us.
Well, treating books as products is good, but you should remember that these are intellectual products.
Yes, of course.
Yes, then to number 6, avail your books in different formats. Well, I see there is a lot of discussion now on having your book on Amazon or on ebook platforms, and then also there are quite a number of people still stuck with the paperback or the hard copy books. So then this is a challenge to us as authors to try to avail our books in different formats. So let's say if someone is comfortable having the book on Amazon or on other ebook platforms, then ensure your book is there. So your book should be on ebook platforms, and then make it available also physically through paperback. You can approach bookshops to have your book. So if someone prefers the online, prefers physical, they have a chance. And then maybe to some level you could also think of having your book maybe as an audiobook. You could try other things. Maybe you could animate the book. So just to try to give people as many options as possible. This I also learned from companies. You see, maybe one product, maybe one type of soap, but then there are so many variants. So there is maybe orange flavor, this flavor, this flavor. So maybe we could also learn this. We could try to give our books in different flavors and in different platforms, so that those who are able, you have the option as a consumer. What do you think, Hera?
I agree to a certain extent, though. Although you're not talking about piracy, it's usually an issue, especially when it comes to soft copy books. How does the author guarantee that their books will not be pirated? But that is not the discussion here. It's just consider having those. There are all those different channels available, which you could consider, but also know the stakes involved. Number 5. Carry your book or your books around. That means that wherever you go with copy or copies of your books, because you might be meeting potential buyers and you don't have the product. Imagine that. So that could include family gatherings, baby showers. I don't know. There's so many events. They don't have to be related to books, because there are other readers out there. Bank on that. But don't be too self-promotional. Don't be too pushy. Like you're meeting someone for the first time, and before they ask your name, you're like, here is my book, buy. It goes for 500. Surely, yeah. I don't do that, both physically and online. Market intelligently. You could find platforms when you have a chance, mention that you are also an author, you have written this book, you have this book. But don't overdo it. Overdo.
Well, on to number 4. Go physical. I see a lot of discussions now going online, and we have learning now taking place online, many things taking place online, and there is an illusion that everything is online. Well, could be true, but partly. Now, our number 4 suggestion is go physical. So try to make your books available physically. There are very many people who still don't trust the online platforms as such. So you'd find many people still visiting the same bookshops they used to visit before COVID, and many people still trusting only only physical platforms. So try as much as possible to make your books available, possibly on exhibitions, malls, public places. Could be churches, could be mosques, if it is allowed. Any public place, if it is possible, or if it is granted, your book could be there, so that people can find it in physical platforms as well. But possibly a better way to look at it would be to blend. So let's say you are taking a book to a mall around, maybe Village Market or Capital Center or wherever. You could make it known online that you will be physically available to meet your readers, to meet people, to discuss the ideas you've written about, and to do book signings. So as much as possible, even though many things are moving online, but here is a strong suggestion to go physical.
Number 3, social media. This is a no-brainer, but map out your readers so that you know if your book is targeting, for instance, corporates or corporate executives. Where are you most likely to find them? LinkedIn. So once you have mapped that out, give more priority on marketing on LinkedIn. But do not dismiss other social media platforms. Do not dismiss Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. As you grow your author brand, use them to support your social media networks and building a base of readers. So use social media. It cannot be overstated that it's a powerful tool for marketing.
And number 2, get people to talk about your book. Get people to review your book. Well, we know and we see how this happens on the media platforms, where we are given testimonies, we are given experiences of the people who have experienced the product. This works better than self-promoting, though that is one of the ideas that we've shared, but it works better when people talk about you. So induce them to talk about you. How do you do this? You could first get to know which book clubs are available, or who are the book reviewers in your area, and then get them to have an idea that this book is out. So you could give them a copy, or you could make arrangements so that they get to know that this book exists. And then they get to read it, and then ask them to review it if they would not mind. Of course, not being pushy as has been shared before. And then also you could suggest. Many people always think that maybe the book clubs will reach out to you naturally when your book is out, but that sometimes doesn't happen for many reasons, some of which are maybe they don't know that you exist. So you can approach a book club, tell them that there is this book out which is out, and you could consider reading it in your club if it meets the criteria for your club. So you can indicate, or you can induce some book clubs, some book reviewers to talk about your book. And this could even go to your family and your friends. Someone may not be a book reviewer, but they are a reader. They've read your book. They could take a snippet of the book and post in their status, or take a snippet of the book and share in their social media. The thing is, get people to talk about your book. Again, intelligently, and not being pushy. So ask them to talk about it. And if the book impacted them, they will do it almost naturally. But sometimes you have to remind them. You ask them, would you mind doing a review of the book? Or would you mind doing a snippet of the book to share with your friends? Because when we get a good thing, we need to share it with people. So let them share the good news of your book.
And number one, and surprisingly the most important, is be supportive.
Genuinely so.
Okay, be supportive, meaning support other authors, support other products. That could include you mentioning or talking about other people's books or other people's works, posting other people's books, reviewing. As an author, you can definitely talk about, you have the words to talk about other people's works. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that when you are promoting yourself, you should now only talk about your book. No, build on other people's fan base.
I would not emphasize that any further, but possibly only to add that we are part of a large family. Yeah. So as writers and as authors, we must think of it that way, that I'm not a writer just because I've written, but I'm a writer because there is a reader somewhere. I'm a writer because of another writer who helped me grow. So as much as possible, show up for others. Support other people's book, and I repeat, genuinely so. Do not just do it to promote your work. No. Possibly you've gone to an event, for instance, and you see your book is not relevant there. But Vera's book, for instance, is relevant there. Why did you mention that there is a book I know that possibly could add value here? So as much as possible, let's look out for others and to try to promote other works. And by natural law of reciprocity, somehow ours will also get out there. So as much as possible, show up for others, promote other people's works genuinely, and be interested in other people's works and other people as well. So then you have this database of many people and many ideas and many options which you can always recommend where necessary. So working as a family.
I don't know if it's there's something else that it has gotten me thinking of. Sometimes authors do not buy other authors' works.
But they expect theirs to be bought.
I am a writer because there have been these writers who have gone before me. Because I have read their books, I've been inspired to also write. Because I bought their books. Come on. Thank you very much, Gabriel, for making time for this. And by the way, this video has been sponsored by Writers Guild's All African Bookshop. And we hope that these points are a good place to start you off, though we understand they are not exhaustive. So please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.